The morning mist clung to Lakeshore, Pennsylvania, curling off the lake like a living thing, softening the edges of the town's quiet streets. At Lakeshore Elementary School, third grader Chloe Mitchell sat in the back row of Mrs. Sandra Kelly's classroom, her small hands fidgeting with the silver chain around her neck. The chain held to oversized rings her mother's Purple Heart and Congressional Medal of Honor symbols of a legacy too heavy for an 8-year-old to fully grasp. Outside, the faint clink of tools echoed from the parking lot, where her father, Daniel Mitchell, worked under the hood of the school's aging maintenance van. Chloe's hazel eyes drifted to the window, catching the familiar angle of his shoulders. Carburetor trouble again, she thought. Probably a stuck float valve. Chloe, what's 7 divided by 3? Mrs. Kelly's voice broke through her thoughts. 2, remainder 1, Chloe answered absently, her mind still on the van's engine. Mrs. Kelly nodded, accustomed to Chloe's blend of mechanical intuition and academic distraction. The girl could solve problems that intrigued her: math, puzzles, engines, but traditional lessons struggled to hold her focus. Daniel, 32, wiped his grease-stained hands on a shop rag and glanced toward the classroom. He could see Chloe's silhouette, likely daydreaming about spark plugs instead of long division. The weight of raising her alone pressed on him, etched into the lines of his weathered face. 3 years ago, his wife, General Nancy Rodriguez, had been killed in Afghanistan, leaving him to balance single fatherhood with keeping Carter's auto repair afloat. The shop, owned by aging Ben Carter, was struggling. Modern vehicles demanded diagnostic computers they couldn't afford, and Daniel's expertise with older engines grew less relevant each year. "Dad's still at it," Chloe whispered to her desk partner, Tommy Rodriguez, a new transfer from Pittsburgh. "So what?" Tommy sneered. "My dad says your dad's just a grease monkey. Real mechanics use computers." Chloe's cheeks flushed, but before she could retort, a low rumble interrupted the classroom. Through the windows, a convoy of black vehicles rolled into view, SUVs and sedans moving with military precision. At the lead was a massive limousine, its armored bulk absorbing the morning light like a void. The children pressed against the glass, buzzing with curiosity. "That's the presidential limousine," Mrs. Kelly said, her voice tinged with awe and confusion. "But why here?" Chloe's eyes narrowed, her mechanical instincts kicking in. The limo's movement was off, its engine note uneven, its pace faltering. "Mrs. Kelly," she said, raising her hand, "the car's about to break down." Before her teacher could respond, the limousine shuddered to a halt in the school's circular driveway. Steam hissed from beneath its hood, and Chloe caught the telltale whine of an overheating engine. The convoy's escort vehicles fanned out, forming a protective cordon. Principal Sandra Kelly's voice crackled over the intercom. "Teachers keep students in classrooms. We have an unexpected visitor situation requiring security protocols." But Chloe's focus was on the mechanical crisis outside. Men and women, in dark suits, emerged from the SUVs, their movements sharp and urgent. Secret Service, she thought, noting their earpieces and clipped radio chatter. They were treating the breakdown like a security threat, not a diagnostic challenge. Agent Laura Wilson, 43, stepped out of the lead escort vehicle, her practiced eye scanning the scene. A 15-year veteran of the Secret Service, she'd protected 3 presidents, but a limousine failure during an active mission was new territory. "Garcia, radio headquarters for backup transport." She ordered Agent Raymond Garcia, her senior partner, Phillips, coordinate with local police for traffic control. Inside the limousine, President Carol Thompson, 56, maintained her trademark calm, though the security implications weighed heavily. Her economic development conference in Erie was now at risk, and her team was exposed in an uncontrolled environment. "How long for backup?" she asked through the intercom. "Minimum 45 minutes, Madame President Wilson replied. The engines completely failed. Outside, Daniel approached the convoy cautiously, his mechanic's instincts overriding his respect for federal authority. "Excuse me," he called to Garcia. "I'm Daniel Mitchell, the school's maintenance contractor. I've got tools and experience with heavy vehicles if you need help." Garcia's response was polite but firm. "Sir, this vehicle requires specialized service. Please stay back." Daniel nodded, retreating, but his curiosity lingered. The limousine was a marvel, likely a modified truck chassis with armor and defensive systems, but its engine operated on universal principles he'd mastered over 15 years. Inside the classroom, Chloe's frustration grew. The adults were wasting time with radios and perimeters instead of addressing the engine failure. "Mrs. Kelly," she said, I know what's wrong with that car, her teacher sighed. Chloe, that's a government vehicle. Experts will handle it. They're not handling it, Chloe insisted. They're letting the engine overheat. As Mrs. Kelly prepared to redirect her, the school's main entrance opened. Principal Kelly was heading toward the convoy, likely offering assistance. Seizing the moment, Chloe slipped out of the classroom, driven by a need to get closer to the problem. The empty hallways felt surreal, the murmur of adult voices and radio static echoing faintly. At the entrance, she saw the limousine's imposing bulk, steam still rising, metal ticking as it cooled. Agent Brittany Phillips, 28, spotted Chloe and moved to intercept. Honey, you need to go back inside. This area's restricted. I know what's wrong with your car, Chloe said, undeterred. It's a blown head gasket from a stuck thermostat. If you don't fix it soon, the engine block will crack. Phillips blinked, caught off guard by the technical precision from a child. That's observant, sweetie, but our mechanics will handle it. When Chloe pressed, in 40 minutes, that's too long. The block's still hot, uneven. Cooling will cause permanent damage. Wilson, overhearing, approached with cautious curiosity. I'm Agent Wilson. What's your name? Chloe Mitchell, she replied. My dad's a mechanic. I help him, that's him over there. She pointed to Daniel, still watching from a distance. Wilson glanced at Daniel, weighing the risks and opportunities. A 90-minute delay for backup transport was unacceptable. And if this child's father had expertise, it warranted consideration. Chloe, can I talk to your dad about the car? He'd like that, Chloe said. He loves tough engine problems. As Wilson approached Daniel, Chloe stayed near the limousine, her hands brushing the warm hood. The engine's faint vibrations told her more than the adults realized. Irregular timing, a failing bearing, fuel injection issues. Time was running out. Wilson's conversation with Daniel revealed his depth of experience and the severity of the limousine's issues. It's a serious cooling failure, Daniel said, eyeing the steam. I can try a temporary fix if you authorize it. No security systems touched just the engine. Wilson studied his calloused hands, recognizing authenticity. Garcia's update sealed her decision. Backups delayed by an accident on I-79, 90 minutes minimum. Mr. Mitchell, Wilson said, you're authorized for emergency diagnostics under supervision. Garcia, secure the perimeter. Phillips, coordinate with the school. Chloe, still by the limousine, overheard her teacher calling. Chloe Mitchell, you need to come inside now. I'm helping, Chloe said, not moving. I hear things. In the engine, the grown-ups are missing. Phillips, intrigued, crouched beside her. What do you hear? The timing's off by 2 degrees, Chloe said, head tilted. There's a bearing failing in the accessory drive, and the fuel injection's cycling wrong because of the cooling issue. Phillips exchanged a stunned glance with Mrs. Kelly. How do you know this? My mom taught me, Chloe said. She said, machines tell you what's wrong if you listen. Dad's good, but I hear things he misses because I'm smaller. Daniel's voice cut through. Laura, you need to see this. Under the hood, he confirmed Chloe's diagnosis. A blown head, gasket, and long-term neglect. This engine's been run hot for months, he said. Your maintenance team missed it. Chief Mechanic Eugene Patterson, arriving via helicopter, bristled at the critique. I need your credentials, sir. I've got 15 years of honest work, Daniel said evenly. Your vehicle's got problems your protocols didn't catch. Patterson examined the engine, his face falling. This shouldn't have happened. Our inspections are rigorous. Then someone's cutting corners, Daniel said. Chloe, unnoticed, pointed to the limousine's rear. Dad, there's fluid under the back. It's not coolant. Patterson and Daniel investigated, finding fresh brake fluid stains, active brake leaks. Patterson said grimly. This wasn't caught in pre-trip checks. Wilson's expression hardened. How long has it been leaking? Days, maybe longer, Daniel said. This isn't where it's systemic failure. Garcia's radio crackled. We've had issues with 3 other fleet vehicles this month. Electrical transmission, cooling. Thought it was normal wear. Wilson's voice was steel. Ground the fleet. We need full inspections. Chloe tugged Wilson's sleeve. I can fix it so it's safe to drive. Wilson hesitated. Authorizing a child to repair the president's vehicle was unthinkable. But Chloe's diagnostics had outshone Patterson's team. What repairs? A cooling bypass and brake line tightening, Chloe said. 20 minutes with Dad's help. We need tools from the school shop. Wilson made the call. Patterson, get her supplies. Garcia, widen the perimeter. Phillips, document everything. Chloe worked with surgical focus, her small hands navigating tight spaces. Dad, hold this coolant hose while I remove the thermostat. Daniel assisted, marveling at her precision. Patterson, watching, saw the corroded thermostat, a months-old failure his team had missed. President Thompson emerged, assessing the situation. Agent Wilson, I hear we have a young mechanic. Chloe Mitchell, Madame President, Wilson said. Her diagnostics are exceptional. Thompson approached Chloe, who looked up, hands grimy. Hi, Mrs. President. Your car's neat, but it's been neglected. The metal shows stress from repeated overheating. How can you tell? Thompson asked. Her engineering background piqued. Discoloration on the cylinder head, Chloe said, pointing. The gasket's degraded. This took months. Thompson laughed, impressed. Can you fix it? Enough to get you to Erie, Chloe said. But your mechanics need a serious talk. I'll insure it, Thompson promised. Chloe's cooling bypass restored circulation, and the engine's idle smoothed. Under the chassis, she tightened the brake fittings, stopping the leak. It's safe now, she said, sliding out. Clothes stained, but check everything before long drives. Thompson smiled. How'd you learn this? My mum, Chloe said, touching her chain. General Nancy Rodriguez. She fixed vehicles in Afghanistan. She died saving a convoy. She taught me machines are like people, they respond to care. Wilson froze. General Rodriguez's Medal of Honor was legendary. We need to continue this conversation elsewhere, Thompson said softly. The test drive confirmed Chloe's repairs held. Thompson invited her to monitor the engine during the trip to Erie, a decision Wilson initially resisted, but Martinez endorsed. Her diagnostics outmatch our protocols, he said. Daniel approved reluctantly. If Chloe says it's safe, it's safe. In the limousine, Chloe sat up front, ear tuned to the engine's hum. The armored chassis muffled sounds, but she detected subtle shifts. Agent Wilson, there's a slight timing lag, she said 20 minutes in. It's not critical yet, Wilson radioed Martinez, who confirmed electronic tampering in the fleet. This wasn't just neglect, he said. It's coordinated sabotage. Thompson, overhearing, frowned. Who has the expertise for this? Defense contractors, Martinez said. They'd need inside access. Wilson's jaw tightened. We need a contractor review. As they neared Erie, Garcia reported. Unusual activity at Lakeshore Elementary. Surveillance on the Mitchell's apartment. Chloe's stomach knotted. Are they after Dad because I helped? We'll protect him, Wilson said. What's the surveillance? Out-of-state vehicles, professional teams, Garcia said. Not immediate threats, but coordinated. Martinez chimed in. Corporate intelligence. They're after Chloe's skills. Thompson's voice was firm. Authorize all resources to protect the Mitchells. Corporate harassment of children stops here. Back in Lakeshore, Chloe insisted on confronting the surveillance teams. If they want me, they should ask, not spy. Wilson arranged a secure meeting in the school parking lot. Victoria Caldwell, from Advanced Defense Technologies, emerged from a sedan, her polished demeanor clashing with Chloe's grease-stained overalls. Miss Mitchell, Caldwell said, we're impressed by your abilities. We offer advanced training programs. Why spy on my family? Chloe asked. That's not opportunity, it's control. Caldwell faltered. We were assessing your environment to tailor our programs. You mean separating me from Dad? Chloe said. That's not education, it's kidnapping. Thompson stepped forward. Miss Caldwell, no federal contract justifies surveilling children. Caldwell retreated under pressure from Thompson, Wilson, and Senator Mark Johnson, who vowed state action against corporate overreach. Chloe's community rallied Mrs. Opal Turner, Principal Kelly affirming her value to Lakeshore. I want to help my town, Chloe told Caldwell, not be owned by your company. 3 weeks later, Lakeshore settled into a new normal. Federal protection was discreet, and Chloe resumed her routine, rebuilding carburetors with Daniel. Her educational materials on corporate recruitment were helping families nationwide. Senator Johnson arrived with news. The Senate Judiciary Committee requested Chloe's testimony on child protection. It could shape legislation, he said, but it means a week in Washington. Chloe weighed the choice, gazing at Lakeshore streets. Will I still be me, Dad, here, with you? Always, Daniel said. Testifying doesn't change home. Mrs. Turner nodded. Speak up, honey. Protect what you love, Chloe agreed. I'll testify. But as Chloe from Lakeshore, in the hot Senate office building, Chloe sat at the witness table, her mother's rings gleaming. Senator Patricia Hayes opened the hearing. Miss Mitchell, your insights have shaped federal policy. Thank you for being here. Chloe spoke clearly. Companies shouldn't contact kids without parent permission. Programs shouldn't split families. Kids should have the right to say no without fear. Her testimony, detailing corporate tactics, galvanized senators. When asked about her mother, Chloe's voice softened. General Nancy Rodriguez taught me service means choosing to help, not being forced. Corporate programs that take kids away aren't service, they're control. The room fell silent, moved by her tribute. Senator Rodriguez asked, "How would your mother view this?" "She'd be proud I'm helping," Chloe said, "but she'd want me to stay free to choose." Her recommendations: parental consent, program transparency, anti-retaliation, laws gained bipartisan support. As the hearing closed, Wilson approached. "You've protected thousands of kids, Chloe. Your mother would be proud." Back in Lakeshore, Chloe worked at Carter's Auto Repair, her hands steady on a Buick's engine. Federal reforms, sparked by her testimony, curbed corporate recruitment. Her materials empowered families to resist institutional pressure. Wilson's visits became friendly check-ins. "Your changes will last generations," she said. Chloe smiled, wiping grease from her hands. "I'm just glad to fix cars with Dad and help my town." Mrs. Turner, tending her garden, watched Chloe with pride. The girl who'd fixed a president's limousine had fixed a nation's policies, proving small hands guided by big hearts could mend any breakdown or moral when rooted in love for family, community, and country.